7 Action News is committed to showing you both sides of key races in the November election. So today we're going to focus on the new 12th Congressional District.
That's where the longtime Democratic Congressman John Dingell is running against the Republican Cynthia Calgren. Tonight, 7 Action News reporter Smitha Kaloki is focusing on Dingell and his race for re-election.
It's a familiar face around Michigan. After all, Democratic Congressman John Dingell has served almost 58 years representing the state in Washington, D.C.
I was elected first in 1955, and I have served continuously since then. And the legislature in its sundry redistrictings has moved me all over.
Dingell currently represents the 15th district, but because of redrawn lines, he's now running for the 12th.
I view myself as perhaps the most fortunate and lucky of men. Wonderful wife, great family, wonderful district, lots of friends. The good fortune to have one of the finest jobs that the people have the power to give.
He hopes they'll give him a 30th term in Washington, D.C.
I'm still enormously effective in terms of getting legislation through. I was one of those who saved the auto industry. I was one of those who has written more environmental legislation, consumer protection legislation than anybody in Congress. I'm probably one of the best investigators in the Congress. I've saved the government and the taxpayers billions of dollars over the years and seen to it that the laws are properly enforced.
Dingell is most proud of passing the landmark legislation Civil Rights Act of 1964, which ended voting discrimination and segregation in schools. He also helped pen major laws like the Clean Air and Clean Water Acts.
I presided over the House when we passed Medicare. And my dad was the original author, and of which I was one of those who pushed it through. I've spent much time protecting Medicare and Social Security.
Yet he still says there's unfinished business.
Obviously, all of those issues and all of those concerns are going to be challenged again. And I'm expecting that I will have to work very hard to see to it that the jobs and the opportunity and the economy of our people here in Michigan and the United States is protected.
The #1 priority remains jobs. What do you need to get accomplished during that term?
Well, a lot. Protection of jobs and opportunity for my people, getting the economy going again, seeing to it that the auto industry is able and our industries here in the state of Michigan are able to return to profitability and strength.
Throughout his 29 terms, Dingell has had to defend many votes, including his choice to support programs like President Obama's Affordable Health Care Act. But he says he stands by those decisions.
A society is judged best by how it deals with its people who have need, and that it is just on things like taxes, and that the poor and the unfortunate are not destituted by taxes, that they have an opportunity to educate themselves, that there's decent nutrition for our kids, that retirees and senior citizens have a decent retirement program and adequate health care.
He also wants another term to ensure that his previous efforts, like his work on environmental protection, are not reversed.
And seeing to it that they are interpreted by the courts and administered by the executive branch the way we intended, in a way which is balanced.
Yet as an incumbent, Dingell knows many Americans are unhappy with the rate of progress in Washington.
This is one of the most unsuccessful Congresses in my memory. We passed something like 60 pieces of legislation. No budget has been passed. No appropriation bills have been done. And we have come home to campaign, I think somewhat shamefacedly.
He says many of his prior accomplishments have been achieved through bipartisan work, but he's met with increasing resistance these days.
That the Congress will only work if we wish it to, if we allow it to, if the people insist upon it. But equally importantly, that those of us down there understand that the Founding Fathers intended that we would put the broad overall good of the United States first, and that we would compromise and conciliate and would work together and not say that we want the president to fail.
Dingell hopes a new term will allow Congress to reconcile and bring new compromises.
Under the leadership of the Republicans, the Congress has literally accomplished nothing except to kick the can down the road. I want to see to it that we bring the country together, but that we also have an awareness, as I have been trying to teach in the Congress, of our need to compromise and to work together in the broad overall good.
Despite the admittedly slow progress as of late, Dingell believes his long-running track record will have him back in D.C. for another term.
I am running now for my 30th term, and I come home and I justify what I do, and my people really like me.
I'm Smitha Clokey for 7 Action News.